jetzt der Block von Mawugbe, dem besten Shotblocker der BBL. Spielen in diese Partie. Auf der anderen Seite kommt aber Sigma wieder relativ frei zum Kopf. Gute Hilfe. Von Mawugbe war das, glaube ich.
Das könnte sich rächen. Winberg gegen den Mann, bleibt hängen, aber nicht ganz, denn Mawugbe ist ein exzellenter Shotblocker. Das hat er hier auch wieder gezeigt.
Größten Vorteil gegen Lewis. Ach, schön, wie er rüberkommt. Selom Mawugbe.
There we go. Selom Mawugbe, welcome again. And again, congratulations to your award.
Thank you.
I would say we start off by taking a look at how you received it or how you took notice of it. I think the Seawolves, they posted something on their IG, and I'm gonna take a look at it.
Is in practice, something's going on. So we have one guy who will be rewarded tomorrow, Defensive Player of the Year in the BBL.
That's awesome.
Say something, Selom.
I appreciate you guys. Really is a team effort. I mean
I like
that. We got two more. Let's finish off strong.
Hey, we appreciate you, bro.
Awesome. How was that feeling, getting that information that you became the Defensive Player of the Year?
Man, super exciting. Definitely special. One of those things that, definitely want to celebrate well, and appreciate, as opposed to, kind of brushing it off. Because like I said, those things are special.
Exactly. It's good because it's a team sport. We all know it's a team sport, and we all know, obviously, if you would play 5-on-1, you probably couldn't do anything. But in that 5-man defense construct, you were like the key piece, and that's what the award is for. So therefore, please celebrate it. It's your first time not only outside of the States, it's also first time basically outside of California. I've been through your record. College, no matter what, you've been in a sunny state.
Yeah, that's for sure. I didn't even realize until I made it here, and I started to look back and think, and I was like, wow, I haven't been outside of California, for more than a few months at a time. That was kind of a realization I had a couple months in. Weather starts getting a little colder. Haven't seen the sun in a while. That realization sets in. But
yeah, when you signed with the Seawolves, or I guess there were several offers on the table. Did you look and you saw that beach and you were like, hey, that's just like California. I'm gonna go there, huh?
Not necessarily, but I did see, I think it was after I already signed, but I saw that they had a beach and I was like, okay, that's pretty smooth. I might spend some time out there, check it out. And it is nice, don't get me wrong.
It is nice, I know. It's just not California warm.
Can't stack up. No.
When you signed, did you know you're gonna be coached by father-son duo? And what overall did you expect when moving to Europe for your very first pro contract overseas?
When I had signed, I didn't know that. I learned, I think it was the first week. I was like, wait a minute, they have the same last name. And then I was like, but in terms of expectations for the year, for the team, thankfully I have a lot of mentors in my life that played a lot of pro basketball, and so they let me know different things to look out for, expect, how to kind of move, and how to just put myself in the best position to succeed, which I'm grateful for because it undoubtedly helped me at various points throughout the year and overall over the course of the season. So.
You had a great season. Remember, when you guys started, obviously Rostock new to the league. Everybody was like, okay, let's see Rostock. They have a great on IG, on the website. Everything looks fresh, it's a modern club, But at the end of the day, you got to play some basketball. So I was excited for them that the brand is nice. I had a friend playing there Darian Cardenas like a couple years back. So I already had them on the land map, not on the map, you know. But you guys started so hot. Like, what was preseason like? How did it click at the beginning? Take me back to there.
Preseason was pretty strenuous. I'm not gonna lie to you. You know, we came in August 15th, and then a week of things kind of like orientation wise in terms of department, car, make sure everything's cool. Practice was very light in terms of individual workouts, and then we just kind of jumped right in. You know, so we come in the morning lift, and then do individuals or shoot. Have a little break time, you know, middle of the day, and then come back around 5, 6, and have team practice, and went like that for you know the month before we played our first game, I think in October. And so we played, I think, 10 preseason games. So a lot of games, a lot of practices, but I feel like it definitely helped build us a good foundation of chemistry wise, you know, getting a feel for each other, how we play. And definitely that's something you still improve and adjust, you know, over the course of the season, right? But testament to how we started, right? We were able to have things click. And what I mean by that is, you know, there's a lot of games where down to 8, you know, 5 minutes left, or down 10, you know, starting the fourth quarter, you know, different instances like that where we weren't phased by the score. We just kept trusting each other, kept trusting in, you know, our systems and all those things. And you know, and it paid off. Obviously, during the course of any season, adversity happens. You know, we were no stranger to that.
They figured you out a little bit. Like, not that they figured you out, but nobody knew how you're going to play. And then there was finally some video on you, and made a little bit more likely to like give you a good battle.
Absolutely. And that's the beautiful part of coaching and scouting and kind of the resources we have, you know, to best set up our teams for success, you know, because just like they scout, we scout, and those things all factor into how well a team does, you know, and performs out there on the court.
So the award of being the best defender in the league isn't just being handed out. There goes a lot. Like, you cannot only block shots. There has to be more than that. Obviously, you have a big frame, long arms, but you have Derek Elson Jr. in your team too. Did he pick some defensive skills from you? Did you teach him a little bit?
A little bit here and there. You know, we both learn, you know, from each other. So, you know, I learned some things. You know, he does very well offensively and things like that, including shooting the ball. You know, I'd like to think, you know, maybe he you know, might have learned a thing or two from me defensively. Can't say for sure. You know, won't claim it. I'll let him, you know, speak to that. But you know, like you said, he's very long, his wingspan, and he's good at picking up those steals and kind of getting and taking up space. You know, making it hard to get passes by and all those things. So
obviously, I talked with Dwayne about some different leagues, and obviously in the easyCredit BBL, there is a tendency that a lot of guys play with small, quick guards that basically you can't stay in front of. But there will be the 5 coming up, setting the screen, and the situation always happens that these little fellas gonna have you there standing. So what's your approach when the situation happens? Like, what you trying to get them to do?
I mean, it truly depends on our game plan, because there's a couple of different ways you can guard ball screen: drop, hard show, fake show. You can try and push your man up into the screen and have your guard go under it so he stays with, and you can switch. So, you know, really just depending on matchups and things like that, what kind of game plan we're going into. But at the end of the day, want to be as aggressive as possible. So limit the comfortability the guard has, and then also keep them guessing, because sometimes when they know exactly what to expect, it's a lot easier for them to plan what they're going to do or take advantage of, you know, the situation. The easyCredit or the BBL has great guards.
Yes, they do.
Quick guards, athletic and can shoot. And so, yeah, they're very, very good in the ball screen. Obviously, in basketball, it's one of the hardest actions to guard.
That's for good reason. Yeah, I think the pick and roll is everything, right? So how you defend it. What would you say was the toughest matchup this season for you? Maybe when it comes to big men.
There's a lot of good big men in the league. Also, a lot, you know, that were also, you know, very deserving of the award too, and that showed, you know, great seasons. I know off the top of my head, Kratzer, great player, you know, great size, great hands, touch, and physicality. So he's definitely a tough opponent to play against. Kumaji, Another great player. He can really block it well and is good at kind of keeping that space between him and you until obviously that last moment when he's trying to come and block it, come get it. Like I said, a lot of good players. Freddie too. I feel bad because I'm leaving out some dogs, some players that can hoop.
We're gonna
no disrespect to my other big man.
We're gonna edit a reel anyway, because you said a German guy, we're gonna take Leon Kretzer, the German guy, in there anyway, so we're good. You said Kumachi does a good job at avoiding the contact. That would have been my next question. A blocking foul is called so easily. It's like sometimes, like I watch so much basketball. I really watch a lot of basketball, and then I have a friend of mine sitting. She's learning the game of basketball since a couple years, but sometimes it just gets difficult to explain that he took the contact right in his chest, but he was going this way. But how and as a big, you're most of the time at the wrong end of the call because the refs just don't want to give it to you. So how are you avoiding like the blocking fouls and then still get the block?
Like you said, very, very technical. I feel like a lot of factors come into it, including the ref's perception of it. A lot of times, I don't want to say it's a hard call to make. I'm not going to sit here and say
you're not going to get fined. There's no worries.
That's good to know. No, but in all honesty, because I'll watch a lot of my film, especially my fouls, and I'm like, it looks a lot different than when I'm out there. Still don't think it's a foul, but I mean, hey, it's not as clear cut.
Yeah,
so back to your question, the biggest thing is trying to stay vertical. So, like for example, if you're a guard or you're an offensive player, and you're going against someone like me, if I was going against someone like me, I'm trying to put my shoulder in their chest, because what that does is instinctually makes you kind of cave, right? And as soon as that happens, verticality goes away, right? And that's a lot of times what they'll get you on, because all it takes is just a little brush. It don't even matter how aggressive, but that's going to be a foul 9 times out of 10, right? And so I feel like that's the biggest one, and it's very difficult because you got some strong players coming, especially when coming at you full speed, in transition, things like that. And so it's split second. Are you going to take a charge? Or you're going to jump, and if you're going to jump, you got to make sure to stay straight up. Even if you do take a charge, are you perfectly still? Are you set? I think you
took a charge this season.
I did. I think more than one. I could be wrong.
Okay. Yeah, all right.
What kind of threw me off is that in the States, charge circle, you got to be outside of it. No ifs, ands, or buts.
Yeah.
As opposed to FIBA, and mind you, I try to ask the ref sometimes, and this kind of bad timing, obviously, because it's middle of the game. But it seems like, could be wrong. It seems though like the charge circle doesn't really matter. Could be wrong though.
I know what you mean. Like in the United States, it's like in NBA, it's clear. Like it could be the biggest charge. He could lean in like this, but his heel is just touching it a little bit, and nothing matters no more. Yes,
oh, you gotta block.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's true. That is really true. But also, there's 3 seconds defense in the NBA, so everything in the zone, in the paint, is a little different. Plus the goaltending rule. So there's some. So how did you adjust to that? Because it's not that easy, because you have that size to just like, there's a free throw, I'm gonna just slap that bitch off there, like easy.
So honestly, still adjusting to it, because there'll be a lot of times I'm like, damn, I could have swatted it off. But with that being said, I feel like the difficulty comes in is like shooting a free throw. I'm not just by my lonesome, trying to jump up and get it. I'm trying to box out, make sure he doesn't get it.
Yep.
Offensive player. And then also trying to time it right. So I'll release the box out and either go grab it as it comes off the rim, let alone try to hit it off, right? So I feel like a lot of times it'll be like that split second of like, damn, I missed it. You know what I'm saying? It'll top, and then drop. Like, I feel like the absolute worst other than that make is letting them get an O board off that, because then they got a chance at 2, let alone 3.
Yep.
It's happened before, and it hurts. It hurts.
Bet, yeah. Like giving up an offensive rebound I feel like this is the worst, because it can break, and getting one is like the best, because it can break teams. Like it can break teams. I think Josh Hart in the NBA, he had I heard like a little mic'd up session where he's talking to his big, and he's like, you get regular rebounds, I get rebounds that break teams. I love that.
It really is true, though. It really is true. A lot of times the defense was like, dang, missed opportunity. And it's almost like not necessarily giving up, but close, you get that little, like that much less effort on D. That's all it takes sometimes to get another bucket. And as you know, all it takes is one, not even 2 points, one
Yep.
to
Yeah.
win the game.
Exactly.
So
100%. It's like I think games on average are by 2 possessions. They end by like 2 possessions. If you think about it, how much a rebound is worth. So myself, I'm coaching an under 18 squad, and
Okay.
I like last week I figured out the key component that I'm gonna, because you want to do so much with the kids, you want to give them
Yeah,
everything,
absolutely.
and then you give them too much.
Overload.
Then you're like, why? This shit ain't working. You go like. But now I figured out the key component. You gotta play defense, and you gotta force them to talk. Once they start talking, the intensity of defense is on another level. I would do this with every grown-up hobby team as well. If you talk, it's just a different type of defensive intensity. It's just different.
Absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. I've also coached 14, 15, the freshmen kids before, and so I can completely relate to what you're talking about, and just trying to instill the right things in them, but not too much. But the ones that matter, the core things, because to be a good team, to be a good player, it takes a lot, right?
100%. 100%. Also went through your stats. I saw you didn't take a single three. Not one. Like, with the award now being handed to you officially, you now have the street credibility to just take it. You can, because they know you do your job back there, So now you can take it. Will we see a three? I don't know. You probably signed for 1 year, right, with Rostock?
Yeah, that's out for 1 year here.
For 1 year. Okay, so season over. Make the uncomfortable questions in a second. No worries. So wherever you play next year, can we get a three at least in a preseason game?
We'll see. It's definitely something I'm adding to my bag. And matter of fact, I practice. With that being said, a lot of times on the court, you got to backseat some of your skills to present only your best, right? For the team and the role, whatever position you're in. But definitely, once again, something I'm working on, and something it's gonna come. You're gonna see it in game soon enough.
Okay.
But for now, I'm gonna stay in that lab. You know what I'm saying?
100%. I had a friend yesterday who watched the games, the last row of games together with me, and then he's like, I didn't know somebody went really hard, and he's like, just take another one. I'm like, bro, he shouldn't. Like, obviously, look, they're already sending a double team. And he's like, man, I would be a bad coach anyway. I want him to take that shot. I'm like, it's percentage-wise, it's stupid, But, the basketball heart of fans, like, I love a heat check. I can't deny. So, wherever that takes place, if you shoot that three in an official game, I will clip it and place it, clip this moment, and then put this together.
I appreciate that. Hey, I'm right there with you too on the heat check. You know what they say, when it rains, it pours. So
when it rains, it pours. I like that too. That's amazing. Back home, did they know? Does everybody know you won the award, and how has the feedback been?
Yeah, I'm thankful for the support system I have. Family and friends, and yeah, they all kind of tune into my socials and stuff, especially because of the distance. Obviously, it's hard to, with everyone, right, be in constant communication and stuff like that. So you do what you can, right? And so with that being said, I had a huge reception in terms of just congratulations and appreciation, things like that, which I really appreciate. And yeah, it means a lot to me because, like I said, I don't, a lot of them I don't see them often and talk often, but the love is still there, mutual, and so very much appreciative of that.
Sweet. Best of luck with whatever decisions you make, and enjoy the off season, and congrats to a hell of a season and a hell of a defensive effort.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Take care. Bye bye.
Will do. Ciao.